Have you ever found yourself just staring at a huge list of possible careers and feeling, well, completely and utterly stuck? You are definitely not alone. It's this weird feeling, right? That one of the biggest decisions of your entire life is also one of the most confusing. So, what is actually going on here? Let's get into it and unpack why this choice can feel so impossible. First things first, feeling lost about your career path is not some kind of personal failure. Not at all. It's a very modern problem. You're basically standing at a crossroads with what feels like a million different paths stretching out in front of you, and the pressure to pick the single right one can feel absolutely immense. I mean, does this question hit home for you? All the endless job titles you see online, the conflicting advice from everyone you know, just the sheer volume of possibilities? It is totally enough to make anyone just freeze up. It's a classic case of information overload. And you know what? That feeling actually has a name. It's called decision paralysis. It is a very real psychological thing where having too many good options actually makes it harder to choose, not easier. It's the whole paradox of choice, and it's playing out in one of the most important areas of your life. But what if you had a map? Or, what if you had two completely different kinds of maps to help you find your way through this tricky landscape? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to explore two really powerful frameworks for finding direction, one from the world of psychology and one from astrology. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the psychological map. Think of this as the inside-out approach. It basically suggests that the answers you're looking for aren't really out there in some job description, but they're already inside your own mind. It's all about understanding your own internal wiring. Psychology helps us make sense of all this chaos by pointing to 5 main reasons we get stuck. A lot of the time, it just starts with a lack of self-awareness, like not really knowing what you care about. Then you've got the fear of making the wrong choice, all that pressure from family and society. And this other tricky one called low self-efficacy. Honestly, any one of these can be a major roadblock. Let's just zoom in on that external pressure for a second, because it's a big one. We've all felt it, haven't we? Your family, your friends, they have an idea of what a good or successful career looks like. But what if that doesn't line up at all with what actually gets you excited? That gap right there, that's where so much internal conflict and confusion comes from. And this brings us to this idea of low self-efficacy, which is such a crucial piece of the puzzle. It's not about your actual skills or talents, it's about your belief in your ability to use them. So if you secretly doubt that you can actually succeed at something, you're going to hesitate to even try. It's really a confidence issue that can bring the whole decision-making process to a grinding halt. Okay, now let's completely shift gears and look at our second map. We're moving from the internal world of the mind to the cosmos. Astrology offers a totally different kind of guide. It's a framework for understanding your potential through what practitioners call your cosmic blueprint. So here's the real difference between these two. Psychology, like we said, looks inside out. It starts with what's going on in your head, your thoughts, your fears. Astrology, on the other hand, works outside in. It starts with an external map, your birth chart, and then interprets that to try and reveal your innate strengths and potential career paths. So the core idea in this belief system is that your birth chart, which is just a snapshot of where the planets were the moment you were born, acts as a kind of cosmic roadmap. The goal isn't to tell you you will be an accountant. It's more about aligning your career with your most natural energies and talents. So, how in the world is this cosmic map actually read? Well, astrologers usually focus on a few key things in the birth chart. They'll look at what's called the 10th house, which is all about your career and public life. Then they analyze the influence of specific planets. And finally, they'll consider the general traits of your zodiac sign to get the full picture. Let's dig into those planetary influences for a second. In this system, each planet represents different kinds of energy. So for example, if the planet Mercury is really prominent in your chart, that might point to a talent for communication, media, or tech. Mars is all about action and drive, so you might think of engineering or sports. Jupiter's tied to wisdom, so that fits well with teaching or law. And Saturn, well, Saturn is all about discipline and structure, so that points toward fields like government. And then, of course, your zodiac sign adds that final layer of flavor. And Aries, for example, is often seen as a natural leader, so they might do really well in a role where they can take charge. Or a super detail-oriented Virgo might feel right at home in an analytical field like research. It's all about finding an environment that just fits. So here we are. We've got two very, very different maps. One is rooted in modern science, the other in ancient belief. But what if? What if they're both actually pointing in the same general direction? Let's try and bring these two lenses together. Because really, whether you're sitting down to analyze your deepest fears and values, or you're looking up your birth chart online, the fundamental goal is exactly the same. You're searching for clarity. You're just trying to find a path that feels authentic to who you are. And this is the destination that both maps are ultimately leading you to: self-awareness. Just knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, and your fears. That right there, that is the foundation for making any confident career decision. At the end of the day, that's what this is really all about. One map helps you explore your psyche, the other helps you explore what's seen as your cosmic blueprint. But really, they are both just tools, different frameworks designed to help you answer that one fundamental question: who am I, and what am I meant to do? So the choice of which map to use, or maybe even how to use both of them together, is entirely up to you. And the question I want to leave you with is this: when you find yourself standing at that crossroads in your own career, which map will you trust to help you find your way?